It's amazing how God has created us females. You know, we are able to multitask. With me, I wake up around 4:30 to start my day because I prepare my son's lunch in the morning. I make sure that he's fine and he's ready to start his day because that task as a mom, you have to do it yourself so that you can also monitor your child, whether the child is eating well, has finished their lunch. Obviously, if you haven't made that lunch, you won't know whether the child has finished it or not.
You're a nurse.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be honest and say it's the first time I've met a nurse.
Yeah.
When you speak about Mzingazi Medical Centre,
Yes.
you'd assume it's a doctor, you know, who's running it. And I'm not saying that in this society there is some sort of not recognizing nurses in that field, but if we are honest to each other, one would not assume that a nurse can take that role as a director.
I have different practitioners that I respect. I always tell them that I'm just a nurse, you know, I'm just a nurse. So I always treat others with respect, and I don't look down on anyone, you know. Instead, everyone I treat them as my managers, you know. The doctors that I work with, they are my managers. My receptionists that I work with, they are my managers because it is true that without them, I wouldn't be what I am. I wouldn't be where I am because it's all about respect and leading correctly as a leader, setting clear intentions of what you want or what you want the organization to look like.
Sanibonani, hello, hi, welcome to the Top Woman Podcast, a show where we break down the impact that these wonderful women have made in our community. Today we are at the Mzingazi Medical Centre, where we talk to a beautiful and impactful young woman called Nokuthula Cebekhulu. Sister Nokuthula, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. So you're a mother to Zibusiso and Zenkosi, you are a wife, you are a daughter, but more than anything, you are CEO of 3 entities. When did you know that you want to do this? That you don't just want to be a caretaker, but you want to be a boss babe?
Okay, when I grew up, I was just a girl with big dreams. So I think that for me has just helped me to not just see myself as a nurse, but as an entrepreneur as well. So for me, being a nurse was just a stepping stone for me to achieve my goals. Yeah.
So I just want to find out, now this is between you and I, and the viewers at home, but they're not here. I want to find out, when you decided that I'm no longer going to be a private nurse practitioner, what was the reasoning? Were you like, no man, the coins are not coining? Or was there a certain patient that literally, don't want to say traumatized, but when you were treating that patient, you decided there and there that I need to step up from this? When did that switch happen in your life?
Okay, for me, I don't think it's about money. I think for me to see myself grow each and every day is a hobby. You know, I get bored when there's nothing that is challenging me. For example, now I have this medical center that I'm running. I have a lot of specialists inside, but still I do a bit of marketing for them. So that and nursing is just totally, different. So I like things that challenges me every day. You know, I'll start a project. When I'm done with that project, I get bored. So for me, it's just a hobby. I like challenging myself each and every day.
Summer well to have challenging yourself as a hobby. I really hope we can all aspire. And I love that you say that after the next project, it's always on to the next. Do you have a plan in your mind that, okay, I'm doing this, the next step is that? Or do you realize when you're done with this project, it's no, more can be done?
Sometimes I do plan. Sometimes I just wake up and decide to do something. Like now we are launching a spa here at Mzingazi Medical Centre on the 9th. So this was just something that, I just woke up and decided, why not, because the main aim for the medical center is to bring all the specialists in the community. So why would someone go to town for a certain service, So that is just me. I will wake up and just decide, okay, let me just do it. So I've stopped even sharing with my sisters, my family on what I want to do, because really they'll be like, today you want to start food business, tomorrow it's another one. So it's just me. But at the same time, I think with the medical center still it collaborates with health services that I'm also rendering at the wound care clinical at the wound care clinic. So yeah, I think yes. That's all I can say.
I get it. I definitely get it. But now the thing is, I'm trying to collaborate this in my mind. You speak about wound care, and I'm thinking that's like treatments like your ulcers, your diabetes wounds, and then you're talking about something glamorous, which is right up my alley. Spa treatments and all of that, So I'm trying to get the two, because I feel like working with wounds a lot. That is something hectic. I know I watch a lot of, those clips when you see people work on that, and you're always shocked that how is a person living with that. And it's not a very sexy, and like looking at you, I would not assume that is the field that you choose. So it's slow, hard, meticulous work. Do you think by you closing the wounds in people, and you now as an entrepreneur, because as we talk, I feel like you're an entrepreneur first overall. And what I always say, that the main function of an entrepreneur is to answer a question that people didn't even know to ask. So in your field, it's closing a gap, like in a wound, So how are you able, the psyche of that, what is the healing side of healing in business and healing people?
Okay. Patients with chronic wounds or acute wounds, they face a lot of challenges in life. When the patient has a wound, they often become challenged financially, physically, and emotionally. They are isolated in the community. So you get a patient with a wound who now cannot attend a function in the community, cannot socialize with friends, cannot go to work. And, I think with me, I have created a safe space at my clinic where they can actually come and feel safe, be able to have someone to talk to, be able to have someone who accepts them. Wounds, sometimes you get that odor, it smells. Nobody wants to come close to a patient with a wound. But then, when they come to my clinic, we smile, we laugh about things, we laugh about the situation. And for them to see the wound closing each and every day, it brings that hope, that it builds that confidence again. So I think when it comes to the other things that I do, I still do the same, because really I have employees as well that are feeding their families. So you can see now how the two is really communicating, because really on the other side of business with the people that are assisting me with my work, really they are able to provide for their families, which is also psychologically they are being healed. So we are healing wounds. The other side we also are taking care of families. So yeah, I think it just, for me, it communicates. Yes.
I love hearing that, because I think sometimes when we look at what you guys do, we don't understand the psychosis that happens psychologically for the families and that impact. While on that topic, you have a wound care clinical services, right? And you are level 8 NQF practitioner. So I want to find out, and I want to speak specifically about diabetes, because I think diabetes right now is ravishing our communities at large. And I feel like we still have a lot of misinformation that happens, and that's why it jumps from somebody who could have just easily been diagnosed with diabetes, getting help, to straight, you get a conversation, you hear someone, he had diabetes, 3 months later, he had to amputate his leg, or he's got a wound that doesn't heal. What problems have you, specifically in the diabetes sector of things, if I can say that word, have you found a problem with, and how do you deal with it? Because as much as you want to care for them, but there's also a profit margin that you need to look at, because you need to get them healed quickly and in and out, but still keep them happy and psychologically sound.
So for me, I think prevention is better than cure. So I always teach my patients, especially the diabetic patients, I always tell them that let us prevent those ulcers in the legs or in the feet, because once so when you're diabetic, there's poor circulation in your lower extremities that happens. So I always tell them prevention is better than cure. So we even have I do conduct education on how they need to take care of their feet. You know, some of them, they cannot examine underneath their feet. So I always tell them, use a mirror, check, get a friend or a family member to check for you every day if you have an ulcer that is growing there, if you have any abnormal growth in your feet, so that we can treat that sooner to prevent amputation. So, but now I can see that a lot of other people, they are still not, playing a role in understanding how crucial this thing is of taking care of your feet when you're diabetic. So I'll say people with diabetes, they just need to make sure you take care of those feet. Because when you have a wound, yes, we can heal the wound, but then with all other factors that delays wound healing, it becomes a problem. It takes longer than expected for your ulcer to heal. So I'll say prevention is better than cure. Please take care of your feet when you're diabetic.
You guys heard that at home. During our podcast today here at Mzingazi Medical Centre, Sister Nokuthula Cebekhulu has said it yourself. Prevention is better than cure. And I hope this is a message that goes across to everyone, all family members, even you young ones watching this at home. Go to Koko Mkulu, your parents, say, hey, can I check that if everything is going well? Are you well informed? And I believe that is the way we can save one family at a time. So moving from feet, that is, so I can imagine it's 10 a.m. You're dealing with the patient who has an ulcer that is not healing. It is not fancy work. Like I said, I used the word sexy before, because that's, you guys have now, it's not aesthetically pleasing, So how do you move from a factor that's aesthetically pleasing and bringing it forth to now aesthetics, where you deal with your IV drips? You've got Mzingazi Medical Centre, you've got the IV lounge and all of that. How are you able to move? Because you do it in one day. I need viewers to understand that it's not saying this week you're here, the next you're here. It's all done. What's the psychology with you in dealing with that?
So I said prevention is better than cure. So that is what I'm preaching every day. So when I'm at the aesthetic side, where I provide those IV drips for my clients, it's also me preaching to them, take care of yourself. Because remember, when you come for your IV drip, you're not sick, but you want to balance some, some things in your body. So it is still a way of saying, let us take care of ourselves before, we get sick. Because remember, when you come to the wound care clinic, it's because you are sick, you have a wound, So I am saying, let us prevent whatever complications that may lead you to be sick, to visit me at the other side of wound care clinic. So that is just me every day preaching that let us prevent this and wound care clinic. If you already have a wound, then I'm here for you as well to take care of you. To take care of you.
I love how it's literally just like a journey.
Yeah.
You do the prevention, and then if maybe it escalates beyond that, you've got the care.
Yes.
Now, Sister Nokuthula, as I'm speaking to you, this is a lot. You know, I am a mom to a 3-year-old, and he keeps me on my feet, and he's just one.
Yeah.
You're a mom to a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old, you know, and more than anything, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. How do you balance everything? And are you able to?
It's amazing how God has created us females. You know, we are able to multitask. With me, I wake up around 4:30 to start my day because I prepare my son's lunch in the morning.
Oh.
I make sure that he's fine and he's ready to start his day because that task as a mom, you have to do it yourself so that you can also monitor your child, whether the child is eating well, has finished their lunch. Obviously, if you haven't made that lunch, you won't know whether the child has finished it or not. So for me, that time my day starts at 4:30, I wake up, making sure my son is fine. Then after he goes to school, then I start to prepare, you know, for myself to start my day. And then, yeah, I'm able to balance things. I don't know how, but I think it's just how God has created us females. We are just amazing. Yeah.
Like we say, woman, the female, we are up there multitaskers. So you are a mom to 2.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, Zibu is 1.
Yeah.
And
Zibusiso is 6. Zenkosi is 1. Yes.
Okay. And Zibu is your daughter.
Zibusiso is my son. Yes.
Okay.
And Zenkosi is my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are there now? You're a girl mom and a boy mom.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, girl. So I want to find out: is there anything that you would want to impress on your daughter? Saying you've been through it, you've been through the challenges, because we grew up, you know how we grew up in our families. The conversation has always been go to school, graduate, find a job, be a homemaker. Yeah. Is there anything that you'd want to impress on your daughter that you've been through and you just say, I want my daughter to have a better life than I did?
I think independence. That is what I'm teaching my kids. Because really, if you're not a twin, even if you are a twin, but at some point you need to make decision as Nokuthula. So really, when you have this thing of knowing that you have yourself, only yourself, and you're not depending on another person, that makes you a better person. It makes you a better woman, you know, because really. Even if you wake up today and some things are not laid in the table for you, but you'll be able to still make decisions and move forward. So I'll say, my daughter just needs to grow and be independent. That is all.
I love that. I know she's going to be so excited. I can imagine her speaking at school that, do you know who my mother is? Do you even know? On that tip, Sister Nokuthula, you're a nurse, you know, and I'll be honest and say it's the first time I've met a nurse. When you speak about Mzingazi Medical Centre, you'd assume it's a doctor, you know, who's running it. And I'm not saying that in this society there is some sort of not recognizing nurses in that field, but if we are honest to each other, one would not assume that a nurse can take that role as a director. So you manage people, you know, and you manage different people that are professionals in their fields. How are you able to do that while still being Sister Nokuthula, but also wearing the hat of a director of Mzingazi Medical Centre?
I think having a vision as a person is very, very important, because when you are a leader, you need to have clear intentions of what you are doing, you know, so that whoever that wants to follow you can follow you with a clear understanding of what you as a leader wants, you know. So I think for me, that has really helped me, because I have different practitioners that I respect. I always tell them that I'm just a nurse, you know, I'm just a nurse. So I always treat others with respect, and I don't look down on anyone, you know. Instead, everyone I treat them as my managers, you know. The doctors that I work with, they are my managers. My receptionists that I work with, they are my managers, because it is true that without them, I wouldn't be what I am. I wouldn't be where I am, because it's all about respect and leading correctly as a leader, setting clear intentions of what you want, or what you want the organization to look like. So yeah.
Wow, I think that has answered everyone's questions, because I'm sitting down here and I'm like, nurse. I'm trying to, but I understand as well that it's not just a title. If you are born to be a leader, no matter where you are, your leadership skills will shine through. While speaking about leadership skills, a little birdie told me that there's a side quest you've taken on. There's a project that you started in 2021 that works with the community and stuff like that. Please, first and foremost, tell me more about it, and just explain to me and the viewers what it's all about.
Okay, so I call it a sister project, because for me, growing up in the trying family, it has my mom has taught me a lot about caring for my sisters. So when I grew up as an eldest sister to my two beautiful sisters. And with all the hardship in the family, my parents couldn't sometimes buy me sanitaries, you know. So for me, that was just, you know, the difficult, it was a struggle for me to grow up, if I may put it that way. But then I had this thing in my mind that there is no other girl that I know that will go through what I went through, you know, when I was growing up. Not because my parents failed, but they did their best. Both my parents were not working, you know, so they did their best to provide for us. So I was like, okay, you know what? With every girl that I come across, I need to make sure that I put a smile on that girl's face. That hence I came up with this sister project. So for me, it is not to make profit, but it is about putting a smile on another girl, you know, girl's face. So I started that project in 2021. I'm visiting schools, you know, to provide with the sanitaries. I do mentorship as well. I decided not to register that NPO, because I do it from my pocket. So I don't ask for donations for it. It's just, you know, the personal thing for me. So yeah, so that is what I'm doing. Every girl that I meet, I try and make sure that the girl is fine.
I love, as you're narrating, there's something I'm noticing when you talk about your family and your sisters, like literally your eyes light up. And I think they played a very big role in your support system. So I want us to take it a bit back. Before we see this glamorous, beautiful Sister Nokuthula in front of us, how was it growing up? You know, because I can imagine you're not going to be so ambitious if you grew up in a support structure that did not allow that. So being an older sister of two, how was that? Deputy parent.
I think growing up was I know we didn't have like everything, but what we had was enough, because we were raised by a very strong lady, Umama Macele. She is very strong, you know. You would think that maybe she was working somewhere, but she used to sell veggies just for us to have something so that we can go to school. And she made sure that we all go to school, you know, which was so amazing for me. When I look at her, her parents didn't give her that chance to go to school, but she made sure with her kids that we go to school and we become better people. So I'm taking off my hat for her. She did a wonderful job, because I think I am the reflection of my mother. She is a hard worker. She is a hard worker. I think I'm the one who just took from her, you know, comparing with my other sisters. So I'm just a reflection of my mother. She's very strong.
That's exactly what I'm asking, because I'm like, no, there's the roots of this, and you speak, and I can understand. And I know Uma, where she is, she's like, yeah, I gave birth to that. That's me. And I'm so glad. That's why I said deputy parent, because even your aura, and it comes across that you are not only a healer, but a helper, you know. And I just want to find out, with that journey, from being a young one, starting the factor, because when we use the term with you, private nurse practitioner. In my understanding, my knowledge is very small. Is that innocence? You know. So in which space do you now move from just studying to be a nurse, and then you choose the sector of going to the private side of things?
Yeah. So in nursing, there are different categories. You just decide which specialty you want to do. So there is a 2-year course where you complete and become a staff nurse. There is a 4-year course where you complete and become a sister. And then when you obtain your qualifications of being a sister, you can then decide which specialty you want to focus on. So nurses that works in critical care, which is your ICU, they go for that extra training to specialize, to be able to work in the ICU, as well as nurses who works in emergency department. They specialize in working there. So when you just don't want to work under, you know, under the hospital, then you can then specialize on what you want to do and open your own practice. But obviously you go through a lot of registrations, you know, but then that is how you branch as a nurse and just specialize or open your own practice. Yes.
Okay, now I understand. Now I get it. Now tell me, let's take it back in your mind. This is your first year as a private nurse practitioner. What is the worst mistake you've ever made? Did it cost you any money? Was it any critical injuries?
It is actually not my first year. I started in 2021. So being a private nurse practitioner. So, you know, when you are a business person, you learn from your mistakes. So that is just me. I've made mistakes, but then I've learned from them. But it's not even major mistakes, because I am very intentional with what I'm doing. I know exactly what I want. So it is not much mistakes that I've made. Even with money, you know, you can't just be careless with the money that you've worked hard for. So you can't just wake up and be one of those I blew it
kind of stories.
You know, if you've really worked hard for that money, you spend it wisely.
So on that tip, and now I understand you moving into the private sector and specializing. In the health field, now this is a bit of a deeper conversation. In the health fields in South Africa, probably specifically in public institutions, we don't have the best support to healthcare workers. I'm not going to say that the healthcare field is not okay, because I do believe that the people working there are equipped and dedicated to working, to assisting in that field. But the situation in South Africa right now is not 100%. You know, as Sister Nokuthula Cebekhulu, as the journey you've taken, as you now being in the private sector, if you were to be in that public sector, which is one thing that you'd love to change?
I think as Nokuthula, our system is broken to start with. So there is really nothing much that one can do with the system that is broken. Like, you know how things are in South Africa. But what I have in my mind, or what I do every day, is to just make an impact on the people that are surrounding me. You know, my patients that I treat, I make a difference in their lives. So the people that the people that are surrounding me, I make sure that I make a difference, I make a change. But then the truth is, we cannot change the system. It is what it is. Really, there's nothing that we can do to change it. But I think each and every person where we are, you know, in different departments, you can make a change within your facility. Yeah.
You're 32 years young. And you've been in the field, in the industry for around 12 years, right? Yeah. What is it that you'd want Zibusiso at the age of 32 to remember about his mom? Not the titles, not the fancy cars of the houses or the shopping spree, but that feeling at 32 when he thinks about you that you'd wish for him to have.
I like that question because last year, Zibusiso was doing grade 1. So at his school, they had this Mother's Day event. So they were asking the kids, why do you think your mom is a super mom? You know, Zibusiso was brave enough to stand, you know, and say, my mom is a super mom because she works very hard. She's a provider. She cooks very nice food. You know, she mentioned all those nice things about me. And I was like, okay, so it means apart from being a professional person, when I am at home, whatever that I do for my kids, you know, he sees that and he really appreciates that. So for me, that was just amazing to see that. Not that I'm a nurse to my patients, but when I go home to my kids, I'm a mother that can go into the kitchen and, you know, and cook nice meal. A mother that spends time with her kids. So for me, that was just, you know, my son did say I'm a super mom.
So you'll add that to your many titles. The final one, super mom sister.
Yes.
Nokuthula Cebekhulu. So on a final note, Sister Nokuthula, you look glamorous. Your job now looks glamorous. The medical center is beautiful, you know, but it wasn't easy getting here. So I want to know from you the final message that you give to another young Black woman who's maybe changing a bedpan, who's wiping the brows of a patient because they're sweating, who's trying to force feed a patient who's rude, who doesn't want to eat, and the doctor's here saying this needs to be done. What motivation would you give to them to not give up?
Okay. I'll just say what has helped me. You know, I'll say education is key. You know, those short courses, sometimes when you see them advertised somewhere, you're like, no, it's just a 6 months course, you know, 3 weeks course, I'm not going to do it. But to tell you the truth, no education is waste. So that, for me, it has helped me. You know, I grab all the opportunities, you know, when it comes to studying. Even if it's a 2 weeks course, as long as I can see that it will equip me, you know, I may not use it now, but for future, obviously when they'll ask for, you know, people with experience, obviously you will take that certificate and attach it, which shows that you are a responsible person. So I'll say study. Education is key.
And I think on that final note, I think I'll say to every woman on that note, it's just not the sisters itself. Of course, I've learned that as well. And that is our final parting note, saying education is key. Sister Nokuthula, thank you so much for opening up your practice today. coming in here. I know I'm gonna get a drip right now to energize myself, and I'm definitely gonna be here when that spa opens. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Sister Nokuthula Cebekhulu, one of our beautiful guests on today's episode of Top Woman, a podcast where we want to find out the behind the scenes of the glamorous life. And Sister Nokuthula took us on a journey today that education is key and prevention is better than cure. My name is Zaba King McCord, and you already know it's the host with the most.